doing?
Yes, I do.
Alright. What was he writing?
Yank! Is that blood?
Nope,
Heinz ketchup.
Why don't you examine this one, Apollo? You know, more about, red stuff than I do.
He's a communist.
Says who? Something is strange about this blood, though. Is that what it looks like?
A $5 bill?
Nope. Maybe in here, though.
Apollo, look at this hand!
Yep, that's a hand.
Hey, he's holding something.
Hey, no touching!
You can throw all the snacks at me you'd like, Emma. I will violate procedure. But sooner or later, you're gonna run out of them.
Then you'll be hungry.
You raise a good point. I'm a bit intrigued by this scene. Let's take a look.
See there? He's holding something.
As we've been over before.
What's this?
Key ring?
You think it might belong to the killer? Even though the victim's holding it?
Certainly a possibility.
Would he have a heart? Can't.
What an unusual key ring. What unusual keys. This could be a vital clue.
Da-da-da-da. Keyring out of the court record.
Siren would own, maybe.
Let me check his gunshot wounds.
Wait. Nah, that would mean have to going through all the text again. I know we don't. I don't think we need it.
Oh well, too bad for him.
Wait, what's up here?
That's the vent.
Yes.
Oh, fancy
Maybe
that.
someone could go in it.
But it's too small, and it can only open a crack.
What's wrong, Apollo? Your mouth is catching flies. Gross.
They're everywhere.
Nothing. Nothing.
Maybe that's how the killer escaped. That's what you were thinking, right?
Eh.
When you arrived at the scene, the killer was already fled. Or he must have... Or she must have had a way out. And there was an air vent. And the air vent was a possibility.
But it's much too small.
Even for a computer.
I heard them say that about the window.
I could say that about something else.
Not if the killer were about your size, Trucy.
It's the blind kid.
It's the little penis.
I didn't do it! And I don't have a little penis.
What?
We weren't talking about that.
I was cutting up the dance floor at the time, thank you.
Vandalism.
I know. Of course I don't think you did it.
It's hard to tell with you sometimes, Apollo.
Hey, what did I do?
You talk to yourself
All right.
too much.
I think we need to present something here.
Examine her.
We can't examine. We have to use gun here.
So this is the murder weapon. This revolver is incredibly heavy.
I
thought Rubber Soul was heavier.
It's been fired twice. You can still smell the gunpowder. That's odd.
What's odd?
Oh, nothing.
Whoops.
Hey, no fair, tell us.
Yeah, hit my mouse while you're at it.
It's just that something
Hey, you were
about
giving
the
me the
revolver seems strange.
It's in red text.
Strange.
Like a siren in red text.
Let's see. Keyring.
Sorry. I can't comment on anything not scientifically relevant.
You don't look like much of a scientist.
I'm a forensic scientist, after all.
That's what the classes mean, you know?
Contaminated the crime scene.
Self-styled one, at least.
That was my error, but let's see. Talk. Ah, there's one here for murder weapon.
What do you think about the revolver?
Well, it's big and it's heavy.
That's right. It's a .45 caliber. That makes it one of the deadliest revolvers around. Even the police don't carry guns that big.
Police that aren't Clint Eastwood, anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. You don't need much power to kill such close range.
But it is awesome.
It was a big.
It's overkill.
Almost as if a blind guy shot it.
I'm not sure I see the problem with something being too big. I mean, whenever I go out, I to eat curry, I order it extra spicy, just to be sure it's spicy. Of course, I can only ever eat 1 or 2 bites.
What are we getting
And whatever.
There's another thing about the gun this big. It puts a lot of strain on a shooter.
Oh, I bet.
Strain.
Yeah. Say if you were to fire this revolver, the recoil would probably dislocate your shoulder.
Blind.
Ouch! It's like the shooter's a victim too.
Exactly.
Yet the killer used this revolver, and quite well. I'm guessing whoever did it was used to shooting.
Probably blind.
Used to shooting a high caliber weapon.
Redneck.
Well, that's about it. I think we've looked at just about everything that there is.
It wasn't the blind kid. I'm gonna feel.
Well, I guess you're right.
Yeah, they won't be making.
I know how you're feeling.
For no reason.
It was hard to know when to stop. But anything more involved has to wait until the squad gets
It's
here.
taking the police so goddamn long.
Arg, I suppose.
I'll go report the evidence.
Scene, waiting for the police.
Sorry,
This is a gun crime too.
sorry, but I could. But you could just wait here when I get back. Until I get back.
Actually, we
Great, thanks.
That's so typical.
she left.
What do we do, Apollo? She told us to wait.
At the crime scene.
Great. Now, how am I supposed to investigate?
Oh well, I guess it can't be helped. Let's go.
Bad murderer. They
Eh,
leave
what?
a weapon
Go?
at the crime scene.
Time's a wasting, Apollo. We've got a lot of ground to cover.
Well, that's true, but on second thought, what? I'm sure everything will be fine.
What could possibly go wrong?
Of course it will.
goddammit.
Let's go.
You guys should use CSI techniques.
Yeah, let's take fingerprints off the gun.
Let's see if the random mutagens
July 7th,
could produce changes
backstage hallway.
in the phenotype of the organism.
Tuxedo mask.
Eek!
I will temporarily fill in. Who's there?
We didn't just imagine that, did we?
He was wearing a silk hat. Friend of yours?
Hardly.
Whoever that was, he sure looks suspicious.
It's the hands of the Darwinists.
Anyways, we're going to take a little break here.
Pause.
Let's jam.
And we're back!
We are back. We are back in the case.
Echolalia there.
Let me see. One place you haven't been to yet. The stage.
The electron density.
July 7th, in the wings.
Where you fly.
What is it with today? Problem after problem. Achtung!
You ain't kidding.
It's the two leading members of the Gaviners, Apollo. Clavier on vocals and Darian on guitar. They're so cool.
I have a hard time of thinking of Clavier as anything but a prosecutor, honestly.
Huh? What are they arguing about?
Politics.
Probably the case, I'd bet.
Way to get a beer.
My hog won't start, my guitar's case is busted, and my guitar's been burnt to a crisp, and to top it off, somebody's dead.
Well, then you don't need the case. What's the problem?
And then there was that performance just now. What was that all about?
Hey man, don't blame me. You were the one who missed the cue.
You should be more Eastern European. Me? Mr. Q? How could I conceivably get the most important part of that song wrong? How? And what was all that tinny playing of yours?
Who you calling Tinny?
Sounds like they're having a spat. One of those differences in musical direction bands are always splitting up over.
They hate each other.
This is hardly the time.
What are you two doing here?
Hi! ellipsis.
We were just discussing the investigation, if you don't mind.
Sorry, wait, you were what?